Okay, so today you're with us for a deep dive into, well, the pretty complex world of Sacramento artist Born Stunna 3G. His story, it's really this intense mix of street life, run-ins with the law, and his rise in the rap game. Pretty raw stuff.
Absolutely. And to really get into it, we've gathered quite a bit of material for you. We're looking at YouTube transcripts, interviews, bits from music videos, plus news reports covering his legal issues. And we even looked at his Spotify profile just to get a sense of his output.
Right. So our mission here is to take all that and kind of piece together Born Stunna 3G's life, from where he started, his extensive time in the justice system, how he became this voice in rap, and all the dynamics, sometimes pretty contentious, in that Sacramento scene. We're really looking for those, surprising details or key moments that tell his story. So to really get Born Stunna 3G, we kind of have to go back to the beginning. Traji Tagami, that's his real name. Born in the South Bay, but then moved to Sacramento pretty young, like 6 years old.
Yeah, and it's kind of wild how fast he got pulled into street life after that move. He first hit juvenile hall at just 11. He talks about the bonds he made there, like family type shit.
Yeah.
These weren't just, casual things. These early experiences really fundamentally shaped how he saw the world.
Yeah.
He even admitted sometimes he'd go to juvie on purpose if he needed a place to sleep. Which says a lot about the lack of safety nets, doesn't it?
Wow. Yeah, that's stark. He sort of reflected on that himself, didn't he? Saying he was in it then and that he's still, living with choices made way back then.
Exactly. It shows how deep those roots go.
Huh.
And it gives him this interesting perspective on how Oak Park itself has changed. He remembers it being, quote, grimy, an underworld, he said, no lights, wild raiding pit bulls.
Sounds intense.
Right. And he contrasts that with now community centers, lights, cameras everywhere. He knows how much money has been put some money into the area. It's clearly a very different landscape today.
That's quite the transformation. Does he ever sound like he misses that grimy Oak Park, or is it all just about progress now, given his own rough history there?
It's layered, I'd say. You can tell he sees the improvements for the community, obviously, but sometimes there's this hint of maybe nostalgia for the raw vibe of the old days, even though he definitely wants something safer for his own kids away from all that.
Okay, so from those early years, his life really got tangled up with the justice system. Can you break down just how much time he spent in juvie and then later prison?
Yeah, it's a lot. He was in juvenile hall around 10 times.
10 times.
10 times.
Yeah.
And he talks about firing on niggas and direct physical fights, claims he was in there beating ass on Z's, which is slang for, decisively winning against rivals. It wasn't just occasional trouble.
That's staggering. And going there intentionally sometimes, like you said. So then he moved into the adult system. His first prison stretch was for burglaries. Around 213, got 5.5 years.
Right? A 5-year, 6-month sentence for a string of burglaries. But he actually served about 3 years. He got out early because of California's Prop 57, the initiative aimed at cutting prison populations. He was 22 when he got out that time.
Still so young.
Yeah. And then, more recently, the really serious charge, facing life for attempted murder.
Yeah.
He did 20 months in county jail fighting that, then ended up doing 3 years in prison, 32 months, specifically.
Okay.
So when you add it all up, juvie, boot camps, prison time, he figures it's 10-plus years behind bars. His words were, damn near a good quarter, a good third of your life, which is, a huge chunk of life spent inside. Makes you think about resilience or maybe just getting hardened by it all.
So spending that much time locked up, you'd almost expect someone to be, writing, planning their career for when they get out. What was he actually doing during those years inside?
Well, he was pretty clear about that. He said he wasn't even writing music in there. Not at all. His focus was different. He said he was really in there squabbling shit down, basically handling conflicts, asserting himself, doing push-ups, playing basketball, doing yard shit, just surviving the day-to-day, it sounds like.
Okay, so it's interesting then, having looked at how the system shaped him, to see how that feeds into his music, especially being known as a diss rapper in that whole Oak Park scene. Sounds like there's a lot going on there internally.
Oh, absolutely. A key thing to understand is the deep splits within the Oak Park Bloods themselves, particularly between Mozzy and ShooterGang, or SSG, who Born Stunna 3G rolls with.
Yeah.
And the thing is, Mozzy used to back ShooterGang, took him on tour, everything. But then it all just fell apart.
Right. It shows how personal stuff like loyalty and who's real drives the whole creative output, doesn't it?
Totally. It becomes the fuel.
So what were the main points of conflict? I know one was ShooterGang accusing Mozzy of hanging with snitches, right? They named someone, Gangster Jeff, mentioned paperwork.
Yeah, that paperwork accusation is huge in that world, obviously. It means collaborating with law enforcement. That was definitely a big point of tension. But the real flashpoint, it seems, was when ShooterGang Coney got jumped for his chain.
Ah, the chain incident.
Yeah, apparently by a Mozzy family member, Mozzy. After that happened, ShooterGang just cut ties, stopped wearing their Mozzy chains, the whole thing.
And didn't it get worse, like Mozzy's crew wearing Coney's chain later? The Greasy Neck tour?
Exactly. Just pure disrespect. And then the diss track started flying. Mozzy dropped Tell the Truth,
Yeah.
basically saying ShooterGang wasn't really from Oak Park. They were from Elk Grove, and dissing them for associating with alleged snitches.
Okay, shots fired.
Big time. And Coney fired back with Free Smoke, too.
That video even had, like, rats shown on Mozzy chains. He accused Mozzy straight up of defending snitches, but brought up some assault charges against one of Mozzy's guys, Hudson Ozzy, and even mentioned Mozzy getting arrested with a rival.
Wow, so it's not just music, it's like public documentation of the beef, pretty much. And Born Stunna 3G is right in the middle of all this. Every little thing becomes material for the next song.
So let's connect his specific tracks to this. What about Dead Obsk?
Right, Dead Obsk. That one came about because apparently a song from someone dissing him got leaked first, so he felt he had to respond, just got to saying shit, as he put it. It was a track with snubs, and sources say it was pretty controversial, basically, celebrating the death of beloved Sacramento rapper Briss, which really underscores the tragic side of these conflicts.
Yeah, that's heavy. Okay, what about Aaron Donald?
Aaron Donald is interesting because he says he actually wrote that song, which apparently isn't his usual process. He usually freestyles more.
Okay.
He felt it flew over a lot of niggas' heads, but it was aimed squarely at Lil Tim, that's a Mozzy, and he made it a while back, like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, just before his last prison stint. So he was involved in the lyrical battles even then.
Gotcha. Then there's Firepins. The name itself sounds pretty raw.
It is. He made firepins after he got popped, his words for getting shot. He said he was shot 3 times, foot, side, and thumb.
Jeez.
Yeah. He just said he made a song about getting shot and called it his first and last time being shot. It's like a direct report from his own life experience.
Okay. And then coming out of prison most recently, he dropped Third Day Out. What was the context there?
Yeah, Third Day Out came out really soon after he was released. He said it was because everybody was doing a little bit of woofing while he was locked up, you know, talking trash.
Right.
He actually said he could have really came out saying hella shit, but decided to keep the track simpler. Like a warning shot, maybe, but holding back the full barrage.
A controlled return. Okay. And lastly, Throw It Down. How does that one fit?
He described Throw It Down as more of a regular song, just about the vibes.
Mm-hmm.
It was a collaboration with Juvenile, who he really respects, calls working with him big-time shit.
Juvenile. Yeah, he's a big producer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sources show they work together on other tracks, too, like The Brigade, Here We Go Again. So it shows he's doing more than just the conflict-driven stuff.
Right, broadening out. Okay, let's shift gears a bit. There were apparently rumors going around about his time in jail. He seemed keen to clear some things up.
Yeah, he definitely wanted to address a few things head-on. First, this idea he was fighting a million motherfuckers.
Oh.
He corrected that, saying he fought everybody and their mama on the east side of Sacramento County with the Bloods. He's adamant, never turned down a fight in my life, and was in there beating ass on Z's. So yeah, he fought a lot, but he's pushing back on the exaggeration while still emphasizing he stood his ground.
Okay. And what about rumors he got jumped?
He says he only got jumped twice.
Mm-hmm.
And even after that, he still stayed in a pot with niggas. Which means, like, he didn't get run off or lose his standing within the jail population. He maintained his place, which kind of counters the narrative of him being victimized.
And the most serious one probably being on paperwork, meaning he cooperated with police.
He completely shuts that down, calls it fake paperwork.
Mm.
And this is where it gets kind of funny. He mentions an app, ChatGPT. Sounds like maybe a misunderstanding of ChatGPT or something similar.
Yeah, probably.
He claims this app can scan documents and tell if they're real or fake. He thinks trolls use fake stuff online to try and discredit him, especially maybe because he still had some status or money while locked up.
Interesting use of tech, or perceived tech, to fight rumors. So, okay, rumors aside, what about his actual plans for his music career now he's out? Is he looking for a label deal?
He says he's open to deals, yeah. But he has standards.
Mm-hmm.
He threw out some numbers, $1 million for a main deal, or maybe $10,000 for just a tape deal. He says he can make music fast, so he knows his worth.
Setting his price. Okay. And collaborations, is he looking beyond his usual circle?
Yeah, he's actively feature shopping, as he puts it. But he's also being patient, trying to avoid niggas politics. Basically wants to sidestep getting dragged into more beef through collaborations.
Makes sense.
So he's looking at artists in L.A., Atlanta, Houston, New York. He really wants to show he could really rap, too. Like, showcase his skills beyond just the diss tracks.
Right, show his range. So, moving beyond just the music, what's his bigger picture? His philosophy, his goals for the future?
He has a pretty clear 2-year plan, it seems. Wants to get his real life together, not just for himself, but for his folks and family and friends and brothers. And a big part of that is actually getting out of Sacramento. He feels it's not good enough for my kids.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not just about moving house. It's about breaking that cycle he sees, the violence, the lack of opportunity. He wants his kids somewhere they can just be good at football and just do tight shit without always having to watch our back.
That's powerful. And given his own history and the content of his music, what's his message to young people?
He's really, really clear on this. He tells kids, stay in school, do better with their life. He explicitly says, not telling no youth to do nothing that I'm talking about in my music. He separates the art, which depicts reality as he sees it, from the advice he gives.
That's a critical distinction for him to make. And is there like a core principle guiding his personal relationships, his loyalty?
Definitely. He talks a lot about taking care of your folks when they in jail, not being a stingy-ass nigga. And he tells this story, this really personal anecdote, about a friend. While Born Stunna was locked up, he asked this friend for money. And the friend literally went out and washed courts, like tennis courts, basketball courts, just to scrape together money to send him.
Wow.
Yeah. For him, that illustrates everything about loyalty, about real support. It's not about flashy stuff. It's about who shows up, even when it's hard.
What a journey. We've really covered a lot today with Born Stunna 3G. You know, from starting out in the South Bay, that move to Sac, ending up in juvie at 11. His life was just so deeply marked by the streets, by the system, and his music is just such a direct output of that, isn't it? Especially tangled up in those intense, complex, sometimes really tragic conflicts in Oak Park. He's definitely a complex figure, shaped by all of it, environment, legal system, music, those relationships, but seems to have this really clear idea of where he wants to go next for himself and his community.
It leaves you thinking, though, when you see how fast a place like Oak Park changed and how many fractures appeared within that one community in just a few years. What does that really tell us about the wider pressures? The pressures on whole communities and on individuals just trying to figure out loyalty and what success even means in a world that's shifting so quickly under their feet.
Yes, only thing that I'm worried about, punch you one of these pussy ass niggas in they mouth, then they film and they'll upload it. Suckers do anything for that clout. They'll trick you out of your position if you ain't gained up and you ain't here watching out. Internet bloggers, internet gangsters, who the snitches? I can't tell. On the dead homies and enemies podcast, the only podcast that I know won't tell. But I ain't tripping, I just pay attention to my own little business and I get the smell. I'm in another state, making another plate. Big plat place on my state. A plush hotel, just counting mail. I do this shit and I do it well.